A few months ago, my friend Robert made $87,000 in 1 week from a skill he learned online. A few years ago, Emily quit her 9-to-5 job to start an Etsy shop where she now makes over $25,000 per month with a skill that she learned for free online. And just last year, my friend Sam started his own business making beats and selling them online. He didn't know any music software or how to use it until he watched YouTube videos, and now he is consistently making over 5 figures per year. And the thing is, this is not just luck. There's actually a repeatable process that you can follow to turn any skill into a profitable business. In this video, I'm going to share exactly what that is so you can find success too. The first step to turning your skill into a profitable business is to monetize the skill itself. And no, this doesn't mean that you have to get paid directly for using the skill. This simply means that you need to find a way to add value to people by doing the thing that you are good at. You see, most people don't realize that they have valuable skills that other people would be willing to pay for. Let me explain. Say you enjoy playing video games in your free time. Now, sure, playing video games is fun and all, but to other people who don't play video games, this skill of yours could be extremely valuable because they would be willing to pay someone to play their video games for them. If you are good at something, other people will find value in it, and they would be willing to exchange money for it. The key here is to recognize the value that you provide to others by doing the thing that you love, and then finding a way to get paid for it. Now, there are 2 ways to do this. The first way is to get paid directly for using your skill. For example, if you're good at playing a musical instrument, you can become a musician and get paid to play at events or sell your music online. Or if you're great at cooking, you can become a private chef and cook for people or even sell your food. Or if you're really good at math, you can become a tutor and teach other people. These are all examples of direct monetization where you are being paid to do the skill that you are good at. The second approach to monetizing your skill is to get paid indirectly for using it. Let me explain. Let's say you're really good at creating art. You can monetize that skill by becoming an artist and selling your art directly. But let's say that you don't want to do that. Maybe you don't like selling your art, or maybe you don't want to be an artist. Well, you can still monetize your art skills indirectly by getting a job at a company that needs artists. So let's say you want to work for a media company that creates animations. By working at this company, you will get paid to use your artistic ability to help the company create their animations, even though you're not selling your art directly. Or another example is, let's say you're really good at coding. Instead of becoming a software engineer and building your own programs, you can monetize your skills indirectly by getting a job at a tech company where you can use your coding skills to build products for them. Or another example is, if you're really good at social media, you can monetize your skills by getting a job as a social media manager. The point here is that you don't necessarily have to sell your services directly to make money from your skills. You can always find companies that need those skills and apply for a job. All right. So once you've figured out how you're going to monetize your skill, the next step is to identify the audience that you want to sell to. Because at the end of the day, business is hard either way. You might as well try to sell to people who will appreciate your skill rather than trying to sell to people who won't. For example, if you're really good at creating content for TikTok, you probably wouldn't want to sell your services to people who hate TikTok. Instead, you would want to sell to people who are on TikTok all the time. To find these people, you just need to look where they spend their time. In this case, you would want to look on TikTok itself. So you can start by scrolling through TikTok looking for groups and pages that cater to the type of content you want to make. Then, when you find some, you can join these groups and start engaging with the people inside. Over time, you can build relationships with these people and eventually start providing them with your service. Another way to find your audience is to look for Facebook groups related to the skill you plan on providing. For example, if you plan on teaching guitar lessons, you can search Facebook for groups related to guitar. Once you find some groups, you can start engaging with the members and eventually providing them with your service. You can also use Google to find your audience. For example, let us say you're really good at graphic design and you want to sell your services to businesses. You can start by searching Google for list of businesses in blank. Once you find a list, you can go through each business and try to figure out whether they need a graphic designer. Then you can reach out to them and provide them with your service. So basically the idea here is to find communities of people who are interested in the thing that you are good at. Next, you need to figure out how much you should charge for your service. There are 3 main factors that determine how much you should charge. The first factor is your skill level. The more skilled you are, the more you can charge. For example, if you're a beginner musician, you probably wouldn't be able to charge very much for your services. But if you're a world-class musician, you can charge a lot more. Same goes for any other skill. The more skilled you are, the more you can charge. The second factor that determines how much you can charge is the perceived value of your skill. This refers to how much value your skill provides to other people. For example, if you're a financial advisor, people will probably be willing to pay you more for your services than they would for, let's say, a gardener. Simply because the value that a financial advisor provides to people is usually higher than that of a gardener. The third factor that determines how much you can charge is demand. The higher the demand for your service, the more you can charge. For example, during the pandemic, there was a high demand for telehealth services, which meant that doctors were able to charge more for their services than they would have been able to otherwise. Once you've considered these factors, you can start to get an idea of how much you should charge for your service. Finally, you need to figure out how to deliver your service. And this is important because at the end of the day, you don't actually need to meet up with people in person to provide your service. You can do everything virtually. For example, if you're good at coaching people, You can provide your service completely virtually by scheduling calls with clients over Zoom. Or if you're good at writing, you can write blog posts and articles for people and send them over email. Or if you're really good at marketing, you can market people's businesses over the phone or even via email. And that is the process of how to turn your skill into a profitable business. If you liked this video, make sure to let me know. Also, if you want to learn how to become a full-time entrepreneur, check out this video right here. See you next time.